this channel, and in this video we will have our discussion on the upcoming transit of Saturn in the Aquarius sign. Now you must be thinking that what's wrong with this guy? He's not even stopping. So many videos he has uploaded on Saturn's transit to Aquarius. But I'm very much sure that you must have learned something new in all of those videos. And guys, at the end of the day, who is the teacher? So I'm the teacher in this channel. So yeah guys, a lot of you have been asking me about that when it comes down to understanding the transit results, because lot many people say this thing that transit is a incomplete information, because unless and until we do not know about which all planetary alignments we have in our own natal chart, which all dashas are currently active, so the transit videos are kind of incomplete. But guys, I beg to differ over here, because as you know that when it comes down to the planet Saturn, so Saturn stays in one zodiac sign for close to 2.5 years of time, and in a way for our professional undertakings, our professional endeavors, so somehow Saturn is equally important for everyone. In whichever sphere of life you are in, you are somehow getting influenced by the planet Saturn, and definitely it becomes more important for people who are eyeing for some position, power, spiritual growth, because Saturn controls all of these things. So guys, before we will start our discussion, just a announcement to make. So my sister, who is a Reiki healer, so she has started organizing these pujas as well. So if you have any of the yoga in your chart, like Kal Sarp Yoga or any of the Bal Arisht Yoga or any of those yogas which needs to be appeased through proper ritual, so you can actually contact on the email which you are seeing right now on your screen. Now guys, shifting our discussion to what we will discuss today in this video. So guys, like the way I have explained the customized results of this entry of Saturn in the Aquarius sign, there is no denying of this fact that just because Saturn is transiting in its own Mool Trikona sign after almost 3 decades, so that means that Saturn is in a strong dignity to manifest good results for all of us. Now definitely, basis your ascendant, somehow the result can vary little bit, but Saturn in itself is in a good state to bestow good results. Now the second thing is that guys, and what we will try to understand in this video is that customized to your Lagna, there is a kind of a specific air environment in which Saturn is currently operating right now, and your natal Saturn will definitely somehow respond to that environment. So this is going to be the gist of our today's discussion. That okay, let's just start our discussion. So let's say for example, if you are a Aries Lagna, so that in itself means that because Saturn is right now transiting in your 11th house, so whatsoever you have heard so far, whether from my channel where I'm not coming to a stop, I'm making so many videos on this transit of Saturn, or from any other YouTube channel, so they have focused on Saturn's transit results connected to your 11th house. But guys, you have to understand this thing that Saturn has created, or Saturn is right now in an environment which is capable enough of giving you gains. And your natal Saturn, wheresoever Saturn is placed in your chart, it will respond to that. So let's say for example, if you are a Aries Lagna and Saturn is placed in your 8th house, that means in the Scorpio. So that tells about that not only you will experience the results which will come from your 11th house, but also your natal chart will also, and your natal Saturn will also respond accordingly. So there could be some gains in the areas of the 8th house where Saturn is placed in your natal chart as well. Like this could be spiritual progress, this could be soul elevation, this could be any of the paternal property, any of the concerns of insurance, which has been long awaited in your case. Now let's say for example, if Saturn is placed in your natal chart in the 4th house, so during this time there could be some gain of property. So yes guys, this is how you have to understand this transit. Saturn is a very important planet for all of us In your case, customized to your Lagna, it is creating a environment of gain. So not only Saturn is working right now in transit in the form of your external circumstances in your 11th house, but your natal Saturn is also responding to it. Now guys, obviously everything has got a pros and cons attached to it. Let's say for example, if your Saturn is placed in the first house, that means it is debilitated. Or if your Saturn is placed in the fifth house, that in itself means that it is in an enemy sign. So definitely the gains will come pertaining to the matters of that house as well, where your natal Saturn is placed, because it is in a situation of giving you gains. So definitely in those kind of cases, you have to consider doing Saturnian remedies. But this fact cannot be overlooked that gains are not only right now happening in the matters of your 11th house, but also your natal Saturn placed in whichever house is also responding to it. Now guys, let's move to the Taurus Lagna. So guys, beyond doubt, in your case, you guys are actually experiencing one of the best transit of the planet Saturn. So if your ongoing dashas are also running favorable, this could be a very golden time period for you, or the next 2.5 years could actually establish you in your professional field. Now, how we will study this transit for you? So definitely Saturn is actually creating a environment, creating a air of authority and responsibility for you. Because guys, we only talk about Saturn in the 10th house, which is good for giving you additional responsibilities, but at the end of the day, the power which Saturn bestow always comes with attached responsibilities as well. So your natal Saturn will also respond accordingly. So being a Taurus Lagna, let's say for example, if Saturn in your natal chart is placed in the 5th house, so trust me guys, not only results are coming from your 10th house, but your natal Saturn will also respond accordingly, and with the environment and theme of additional responsibilities. Now this could be a case that during this time your son could pass some good competitive exam, or your responsibilities and accountability towards your children could suddenly increase. So this is how the planet will respond to you. But guys, one thing is for sure, that Saturn in any way is a very auspicious planet for you, and whatsoever you have heard, you have studied so far, you just have to add this layer of that where your natal Saturn is placed, there will definitely be some added responsibilities, authority connected to that house as well. Now guys, for the Gemini Lagna natives, so guys, in your case, so far you have heard that Saturn in the transit is now transiting your 9th house. Now how your natal Saturn will respond to it? So definitely guys, in whichever house your natal Saturn is placed, that will also get active, and it will respond in an environment of being driven to do something inspirational in the matters of that house. So let's say for example, being a Gemini Lagna, if like Saturn is placed in your 1st house, so during this time you might be inspired to do something where the becoming a voice of the masses, raising and bringing everyone's attention towards some of the causes or concerns where government is lacking. That could be your mindset during these days or during these times. Let's say for example, if your natal Saturn is placed in the 2nd house, so your inspirational actions might be connected with the matters of making use of your wealth to do something good in the society, in the community. In the 3rd house, let's say for example, so if you are a author, you are a writer, in normal times you are more driven towards writing something or creating a content which is more driven towards on the entertainment side, but now you want to write something which is going to bring some sort of upliftment in people's lives. It is going to inspire or educate people. So this is how your natal Saturn will also respond to it. So this could be an answer to all those kind of doubts which people raise, that the transit videos are incomplete. I To an extent, I agree to that, but definitely, guys, when we talk about Saturn, Saturn is in a environment, in a state of giving you or luck supporting you. So your natal Saturn, in whichever house it is placed, it will also respond in a similar fashion. Now, guys, when we talk about for the Cancer Lagna, so guys, I remember there was this CD of Saturn mantras which I purchased couple of years back, and on the cover page of that CD, it was written Saturn from suffering to spirituality. So this is a kind of a notion or dictum which is very precisely getting applicable in your case. So guys, I do not want to sugarcoat it this because Saturn's transit for the Cancer Lagna native is kind of putting you in a vulnerable state. Now, let's say, for example, if along with that your moon sign is also making you experience Sade Sati, or in your natal chart, not only Saturn is transiting from the 8th house, but Saturn is also placed in your, like, let's say, for example, in your 10th house, debilitated, or 2nd house in an enemy sign, then this transit will become more difficult for you. But what the essence for you guys is that the dictum which I just gave you, from suffering to spirituality. So I would say that there could be some sort of difficulties which can certainly arise in the house where Saturn is placed in your natal chart. But again, guys, this might be a kind of indication from the divine that through these difficulties whichsoever are erupting in your life suddenly, this could be a path towards elevating yourself from pain, sorrow, joy, misery, and connecting with that collective consciousness. So it hardly matters, guys. See, it could nothing could be better than that if your natal Saturn is placed in the houses which in itself represents spirituality. Now this could be the 12th house, this could be 4th house, 8th house, then it will be a Saturn return for you. Or let's say, for example, in the 5th house. But I would say the essence is that in whichever house your natal Saturn is placed, somehow during this transit of Saturn, there could be some difficulties, obstacles which might start getting generated, and this could be an indication that connected to that house you can elevate all of your pain, all of your grief, and you can connect with the divine. Now, if it is 4th house, so your mother might play a role over there. If it is 5th house, your Ishta Devta. 6th house, through servicing other people, solving other people's problem. So this is the kind of a gist which is there for you. Now, guys, for all the Leo Lagna. So guys, in your case, although Saturn in the original Kalpurush Kundli is considered as in a very strengthened state whenever it is transiting from your 7th house. Now that is a different case that for your ascendant lord, Saturn sees it as its arch enemy. But guys, one thing is over here to learn is that because the transit of Saturn from the 7th house in general is an indication that it can give us some lasting relationship or success in business. So guys, in your natal chart, wheresoever your natal Saturn is placed, being a Leo Lagna, for you, I just have one line to say that strong bonding with the living signification of that house will help you. So let's say, for example, if your natal Saturn is placed in the 3rd house, so Saturn is creating an environment or a air of giving you strong connection, and your gains might be connected with that. So if it is your natal Saturn is placed in the 3rd house, so developing that strong degree and sense of bond with your siblings, with your friends. If it is 5th house, with your children. If it is 9th house, with your mentors, might be a way of understanding that how your natal Saturn is responding to the transiting Saturn. Now guys, for all the Virgo Lagna natives. So guys, definitely in your case, to be honest, Saturn is a favorable planet for you. Saturn is transiting from your 6th house. Now you must have already heard the results, probable indicative results, whether from my channel, where I'm not coming to a stop, so many videos I'm making on Saturn's transit, or from some other channel. But the gist, the essence of that is that for you guys, The path towards your success might go through facing some initial resistance and problems. So this is the kind of a mantra which you have to understand. You have to completely imbibe it. That if in your case, being a Virgo Lagna, if Saturn is placed in the 10th house, if Saturn is placed in the second house, in whichever dignity it is placed, there could be some initial resistance or problems which you might face, but this is a way Saturn is building up or digging up deep foundation for you, and through these problems and resistance only your path towards success will come. Because guys, I've already mentioned this thing. See, the planets in your natal chart is a screenshot of the planetary placement at the time when you were born. It's like a fixed karma with which you got a planetary placement in this lifetime, and now you are with your birth you have started writing your own destiny with your own actions. And right now, with your those accumulated karmas, a transiting Saturn is actually responding to it. It is actually creating a theme and environment for you. So no matter whatsoever other channels and even I have said before, understand it with this, that not only results are right now coming from your 6th house, but your natal placed Saturn is will also start giving you problems to make you more strong, and this is how your path towards success might be connected over there. Now guys, for all the Libra Lugna, so guys, beyond doubt, I actually wanted to skip your part because in your case Saturn is a very auspicious planet. It is in a strong dignity to manifest some good results for you. But guys, one thing I do not know whether I covered that part or not, because I have started working a lot now these days on the Lal Kitab as well, and Lal Kitab generally takes the original Kalpurush Kundli only while assessing the planetary results. So in a way, Saturn is an auspicious planet for you. It is in a strong dignity, but it is actually transiting in the house which belongs to its arch enemy. So all the gains which are awaiting for you over there, I would say that how your natal Saturn will respond to it. Whatsoever your fixed karmas were, with which the snapshot of which is your natal chart. So now Saturn is communicating with that natal placed Saturn as well. It is creating an environment, a theme of giving you gains through the use of your intellect and devotion towards the higher powers. So being spiritual, acting very intelligently will become very important for you in whichever house your natal Saturn is placed. And guys, beyond doubt, Saturn's transit is actually very favorable for you. Nothing would be better than that if during this time you will invest yourself in acquiring some new skill, getting some new education, or creating something very original rather than acting or associating with any copy paste. Doing something original can actually give you success. After that, guys, for all the Scorpio Lagna natives. So guys, in your case, whatsoever you have heard so far, that Saturn is going to be transiting from your 4th house. It can give you stability, strength in life, in all the areas of the life. Nothing would be better than that if you're already working in the fields of real estate. But what is the essence of this transit of Saturn? So guys, in your case, as you can see that the 4th house transit of Saturn can give you stability, but it is also equally responsible for giving you stress as well. It is also responsible for increasing your efforts, and there could be some concerns of disturbed sleep as well. So this is how your natal Saturn will respond to the transiting Saturn. So this is the environment or the theme which the transiting Saturn has created for you, which your fixed karma, accumulated karma in the form of Saturn in your natal chart will respond to it. So suddenly, if let's say for example, if in your natal chart Saturn is placed, let's say for example in the 10th house, okay, 10th house will be in the straight aspect with the transiting Saturn in the 4th house. Let's say Saturn is placed in the 7th house. So suddenly there could be some concerns of, in the marriage, you might have to work hard, put additional efforts to have that groundedness in the relationship. This is equally applicable in your business endeavors as well. There could be some sleepless nights because of the additional running around of pressure or new contracts which you might have suddenly acquired. So yes guys, this is how you have to understand, and you have to make a correlation between your natal Saturn and the transiting Saturn. Saturn has created a environment, a theme of giving you stress, giving you stability as well, some sleepless nights, and this is how the Saturn placed in your natal chart will also start responding in a similar fashion. Now guys, for all the Capricorn Lagna, so guys in your case, because no sorry, for the Sagittarius Lagna, so guys in your case, as you can see that Saturn is going to be transiting from your third house. So what is the gist, what is the essence which this Saturn has, transiting Saturn has created for you, because it is going to be transiting from your third house. So guys in your case, Saturn is actually asking you to put more efforts and overcome any of the concerns of laziness. And this is how your natal Saturn, wheresoever, in whichever house it is placed in, it will start responding accordingly. Let's say for example, being a Sagittarius Lagna, if Saturn is placed in your 11th house, now Saturn is exalted, so how your natal Saturn will respond to this transiting Saturn? So definitely guys, during this time, suddenly for all of your goals or within your friend circle as well, like you might not be very driven or suddenly started to feel a bit lazy when it comes down to be a part of any social gathering. So these are the kind of demons, these are the kind of opportunities, and this is how, this is a kind of way via which your natal Saturn being placed in that specific house will respond. There could be some additional efforts which suddenly you have to start putting in the matters of that house, and there could be some concerns of laziness, specifically while dealing with the living signification of that house, which you have to overcome. Now guys, for all the Capricorn Lagna natives, so guys in your case, because Saturn is going to be transiting from your second house. Now because Saturn is a ascendant lord for you, so in any case, in whichever house Saturn is placed in your natal chart, it will actually respond very strongly to this transiting Saturn as well. So now if Saturn is transiting in its Mool Trikona sign in your second house, which tells about the concerns of the immediate family members of that house, all those values and beliefs which are very strongly or which are very close to you. So now this is how your natal Saturn will respond to it. The environment which this transiting Saturn has created in the transit, your natal Saturn will actually respond to that. Guys, try to understand this thing. When we talk about the transiting planets, they are responsible for creating that air or generate those circumstances around us. But what exactly is happening within us is somehow is being majorly governed by our natal planets. So if in the transit Saturn has created this air of strong association with your values, degree and sense of patriotism, your purpose, your family, so this is how your natal placed Saturn will also respond to it. So now let's say for example, now for the when we talk about the Capricorn Lagna, so if your natal Saturn is placed in the 5th house, so suddenly there could be a very strong attachment or very much accountability which you will find. Like before, you might be kind of casual when it comes down to either your own education, or this could be your duties towards your children. But suddenly, because Saturn is transiting in your second house and your natal Saturn is placed in the 5th house, now this could be in the form of that if you are single and you never wanted to have a family, now suddenly you want to have children, you want to expand your family. Now for all those people who have been so busy and occupied with other responsibilities, this could be your career, but now suddenly you want to take complete interest and you are very much invested in your children's well-being and your children's education, their future. So this is how guys your natal Saturn will respond to this transiting Saturn and the kind of environment and theme this Saturn has created in the transit for you, specific to your Lagna. Now guys, when we talk about the Aquarius Lagna natives, now guys, beyond doubt Saturn is going to be transiting in your 1st house. So I would say that whatsoever you have heard so far, because Saturn is now in a good state to bestow you all those things which are destined or which are long awaited in your case. Now, how your natal Saturn will respond to it. So guys, my take on this is that wherever your natal Saturn is placed, it will now start acting and will be strongly in the cycle of law of karma. Like before, it hardly matters how you have treated the areas or signification of the house where your natal Saturn is placed. Now let's say, for example, if you're being a Aquarius lagna, if your ascendant lord Saturn is placed in the 7th house. Now let's say, for example, if in the past you have not been very much accountable, responsible towards your duties, towards your partner, towards your spouse, and planets might have been forgiving you on that. But during this time, because now Saturn is transiting in your like first house, so law of karma is not only operating strongly in your first house, but also in the house where your natal Saturn is placed. So suddenly your partner is answering you back, or all the mistreatment you have done to your partner, suddenly you are being made accountable for that. Now this could be in the matters of profession if Saturn is placed in the 10th house. This could be in the matters of your relationship or your duties which you owe towards your father if your natal Saturn is placed in the 9th house. So the essence is that law of karma will be very strongly influencing you in the areas of where your natal Saturn is placed in your chart. And lastly guys, for all the Pisces lagna, so guys, this transiting Saturn has created a vibe, a environment, a theme of losses and expenses for you. So now, as we know that expenses can be of good in nature as well. So in whichever house your natal Saturn is going to be placed, now suddenly you will start experiencing that the matters of that house are becoming very unbearable. Suddenly the expenses in the matters of that house has increased. Now being a Pisces lagna, if your natal Saturn is placed, let's say for example, in the 4th house, this could be towards your mother, 5th house towards the children, 6th house, too many expenses which are happening now suddenly in the well-being of your health, your fitness, or this could be in the form of diseases as well. So yes guys, this was just a brief overview of giving you this understanding that when it comes down to understanding the transiting Saturn's result, not only in whichever house it is transiting, but also via that route, that transiting planet is creating a theme. It is creating a universal kind of energy for everyone. Specific to you, to your lagna, it is creating a specific energy, and you have to not only understand it in the matters of the house where it is transiting, but your natal Saturn will also start responding in a similar fashion. This is something which I wanted to say as a part of my inputs. So guys, for further more updates and notifications on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my Facebook page.